Yeah, it's time for you to lay down.
That's what we get. What time is it? What time is it, Daddy?
Some would call it being a diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team. And we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Auburn Tigers, Jordan-Hare Stadium. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the LSU Tigers. Taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Auburn Tigers. 3A Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends. And yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. Kickoff to get us underway.
Alright, that's yeah, let's get down.
From inside the 10, here he comes. Just never had a chance to shake this, and he'll be brought down at the 24. The LSU Tigers offense will get first crack at it today. Last time these two rivals got together, guys, there were hurt feelings and some dead fish handshakes in the aftermath, and this might be just the recipe to cook up some revenge, Jesse.
Well, they're going to be motivated, that's for sure. The losing team, they've been hearing about that blowout loss now for a very long time. They had this game circled, David, all offseason, hoping to get that payback.
Oh, man, and you get all the quotes, all the people talking about all those blowhards on all the different networks, i.e. us, talking about how bad it was and how embarrassing it was, and now you get a chance to get some payback. They're excited.
Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Finds his man. It's Duff. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs.
You know, the runner just has to have a little bit more patience, bounce that thing outside a little too early, and as a result, lost yards.
And the Tigers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. They're setting up the screen. Oh, he's got some space. He'll be forced out of bounds. Pick up on the play, and they'll mark him down at the 28.
I know.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them.
We choke you up.
And gang tackling on this dude is a good idea. They needed it, but he still got the first down. Now inside the 20, 1st and 10 from the 18. They'll throw it from the red zone. Fires to the middle. Almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. The defense almost came up with a turnover. This crowd rising up, sensing that its defense needs some help. From the shotgun, the inside give. They get him on the ground, but not before he rumbles all the way to the 5. So now with 1st and goal, let's see what LSU does here.
Daddy, you got it. Hey, stop it.
Lewis wants to pass. Touchdown, Tiger! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
How about that first drive by the offense? Usually script the first 10 plays. Well, I had one extra. It only took 9. Great job moving down the field, stringing plays that look like other plays together, and getting this opening drive touchdown.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And he's going to bring it out. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he had just taken the touchback. The Tigers offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. And for their sake, they better hope they've solved some of the...
Have a BKT. Okay. They have a BKT tires. This is my favorite truck.
Over and protection issues that just plagued them in a nightmare of a game last week, David.
It was not a good performance, and this offense has got to grow. It's got to get better, and they've got to find some ways to move the football. They've got to throw the football, but we can't turn it over. Jesse, those are the...
And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
And you had all day to stew on and get excited and dream about getting sacks, and it took no longer than the first play to get to the quarterback, get him on the ground. This defense has been doing it all year long.
B6 or 9.
Now the play fake. Looking left. Makes a connection. He'll be stopped and forced out of bounds right around the 34-yard line, and now they've got a little something brewing. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. To the air on 1st down. Makes the grab. It's Hooks. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries
are. Down. Auburn sends out the punting unit. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. Gets the first one of the day out of there, and we saw a lot of him in that loss last week, 4 times to be exact. Makes a move. What a return there. Found a little running room and put his team in great position. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Makes the grab. It's Parker. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be 2nd and just a few breaths away from the 1st down. The Tigers come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. And they'll stop him just short of the 1st down, just inches away from moving the sticks. They'll turn to the Wildcat to keep this drive alive. On the direct snap, it's Johnson. Breaks into the open. The tag. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Tigers. They'll try to add another to their lead.
And that's why this running back is so dangerous. It's not just handing him off the football, but he's a weapon in the passing game. You see his ability to catch it, turn upfield, make people miss, and find the end zone.
Hey, you okay, dude?
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line.
The other team didn't make a touchdown.
He uses his...
So here comes the Auburn offense. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming.
Non-man receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Second and 10. He'll throw again. Got a man. It's Simmons. At the 40. There he goes. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49. Auburn lines up quickly.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
It's okay. You're good. Stay here.
With second and 8 coming up.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Shows him the stiff arm. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
Well, this is a running back that gets stronger as the game goes on, and they try to get him going early on the toss play, Reese.
And if we start stretching the defense sideways, sometimes a little vulnerable in the middle later in the game.
Yeah, and that might open an opportunity for a play action. Maybe
just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. They go to the ground, and this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front on the attack.
Lewis to throw. Finds his man. It's Berry. He steps out of bounds right at the 45-yard line, and now they're starting to put things together. Oh, this crowd wants it. They want to roll Toomer's corner, but right now they want to stop on third down. Got it looking for a first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. LSU with the first and 10 here. On the run, it's Berry. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be second and 3.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple.
And that's a great job by the defense, understanding exactly the situation, understanding to stay home, play sound. No matter who gets the football, we're going to run to the football hard. We're going to cage the football, be disciplined. Nice job by the defense.
Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
Fourth down, and this crowd trying to help this defense rise to the occasion. Oh, they're after him. And he's sacked. A big play on fourth down to stop this drive. Looks as if check him out. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Looking downfield on first down. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41. Second down. Guys, LSU has the lead here. They came out and jumped on them early in the first. Let's take a break and look at the first quarter stats. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the second. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down. Wants to go up top. Pressure coming. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack. And no shortage of the big boys coming out of Baton Rouge as LSU's defense in the backfield again.
Yeah, you talk about tall, long, athletic, guys that get after the quarterback. LSU, they typically have a lot of those guys. That's a really fun thing to have.
It's picked off, and that's number 10. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
And that is elite third down defense. First of all, you get him in third and long, and then you look to the go-to guy. Jesse, I am committing my resources to him because I know he's a freak, and I know you as a quarterback, you're trying to find that dude.
Yeah, and it's hard. Third and Cal for him to convert that. Doesn't matter how good your receiver is. This dude's obviously one of the best in the country. With the defense, they were all over it. They were ready for it. They get the big pick.
And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming. Trying to pick up a first down. Lewis wants to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Clark. That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45. Offense in a bunch formation. Here's the handoff. He has the first and still on his feet. Oh, there's an alley on the left. And after gobbling up some serious yardage and showing off those wheels, he's finally out of bounds. LSU moving the ball quickly down the field. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Looking to throw. Grabbed behind the line, it's buried. Touchdown LSU! And they take it in for 6 more points. The mantra is always finish, and they're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, it's hit triple zeros in a captivating game today in the American. You...
Go ahead.
Seth looked like a program ready to take the next step after a big road win today. This was a complete team effort from the Bulls. Offense, defense, and special teams all doing its part. Impressive, to say the least. Always fun to see two of the better programs in the American duke it out. A good barometer for both coaches, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Got it behind the line. It's Simmons. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. Look, a lot of time left. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the scoreboard.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's coming and what routes to be ready for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so beautiful.
And the returner will be brought down. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick 6, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick 6 and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do, because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out, not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
The Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Just gets it to the 28, pickup of 1.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
As a defense, we are talking about this right now. As soon as they come... under center, alert, quarterback sneak. Everybody dive at the feet of the offensive lineman, create a pile, jump to the football. Great job by the defense, understanding the formation, stopping the quarterback sneak.
And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. On the option. He'll toss it. There he goes. And he caught that pitch in stride and was off to the races. A big gain and a first down for this offense. He's piled up 87 yards on the ground, and he just continues to turn in productive performance after productive performance. That's how you lead the nation in rushing. He's forced out of bounds just short of the goal line, a mere yard away from pay dirt. LSU lining up 1st and goal. Try to barge their way in. Touchdown LSU! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create plays just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. Let's see if he can make a play on the return. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. He leaves it with his back. Runs through a tackle. Finds some space, enough to get 5 to the 22.
You know, you better form tackle better on defense. You had a chance to make a big play, miss the running back, and as a result, he's getting positive yards. Defense has to do a better job of finishing.
And the Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short.
Let's go! Let's go!
They'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try the run. Hard running there. Looks as if Auburn will have enough for the first down.
And this is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
They'll put it in play from the 27, first down. Wants to go up top on first down. He'll take a deep shot here. And he throws another interception, his 3rd of the night. Bringing it back. Touchdown, Tigers! And what a turn of events as this defense gets the pick 6.
He made that look a lot easier than it is. When you break on a football, you got to see it and go at the perfect angle. The free safety leaves his spot, goes and gets it, and then does the hard part, takes it back to the house for 6.
He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. So here comes the Auburn offense. Looking to throw on first down. Throws to the tight end. Couldn't hang on to that one. This defense has already picked off 3 passes, almost had the 4th. It'll be 2nd down.
This quarterback has thrown a lot of picks. I don't know if he's just not seeing the field right or he's just trying to force too many throws. That should have been number 4 right there, but the defender dropped it.
Rushes on him. Had to get rid of it quickly. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing.
They've already got a bunch of sacks on them today and another quarterback pressure. This offense has to try to find a way to get the ball out a little bit quicker, to protect their quarterback a little bit more, whether it's screens, whether it's draws, whether it's rolling your quarterback.
He smashes his way through again. Really nice job to get it past the sticks, pick up the first down at the 30. The Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Can hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. The sure hands, it's Simmons. They'll give him 4 on that one. It's 3rd and 6.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Here we go, here we go.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it.
Boy, this defense is ridiculous. On point. They know how to rush the passers. Multiple guys getting it done. 5 sacks, and we are still in the first half.
Auburn sends out the punting unit. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Lewis to throw. Fires to the tight end.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. The Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. They'll go up top on second and short. Got his man. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Good job by the receiver there not to run into coverage, but to find a spot that the quarterback could throw him the ball.
Yeah, on those types of routes, Reese, they say if you're looking, you're booking. So if that's man coverage, the receiver's staring at the quarterback all the way across the field. That time, the receiver didn't give the quarterback his eyes, so they were on the same page. They both knew it was zone.
Turning it on. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. That big play has them in business. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Now from inside the red zone. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
Well, if this offense is going to win this game, and down the road, if they're going to reach the college football playoff and hope to win a national championship, they have got to keep this quarterback clean. They couldn't do it on that last play.
Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions. You've given up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz, because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
He stopped just short of the goal line at the 1. An explosive play has him set up. They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra block. Touchdown, Tigers! And they take it in for 6 more points. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey, guys, got a final score in a big top 25 matchup today. Ole Miss found a way to pick up the W, and a win is a win. But this was not the type of convincing victory they've gotten used to in Oxford. Fun one in the Pac-12, man. They generally are, as the teams there continue to jockey for bowl position.
Yeah, how about that? It sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, but now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to respond now. They got to put points on the board right here, cut into this deficit, create a little bit of momentum, because this one's going to get out of hand otherwise.
Yeah, there are a lot of offenses out there that might just say, okay, let's just regroup.
And he is snowed under, sacked at the 7. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This offensive line has just been unable to keep them away from the quarterback. Now it's 2nd and long. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. He's open on the right. He's down at the 27. They can stop the clock, and this is a first down. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. Wants to throw on first down. He'll try to do it himself. He found a little opening and got loose. They couldn't stop him in the backfield, so a solid pickup there. To the air on second down. Outside the pocket, lets it go. Wide open downfield. And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock. Auburn ready to go back to work after getting another first down. Looking to throw on first down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
This offense just has to find a way to find a rhythm here. They're playing at home, and they want this crowd to stay involved and be an asset in the game, but they need to start making plays. They can't keep throwing incompletions this early.
Wants to throw. They'll have to be efficient against the clock. He'll pull it down.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
No gain on the play.
Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team.
In punt formation to kick it away.
And the punt will hit at the 7, and they can't corral it. It goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. Final seconds of the first half. Let's see if they can pull off a little magic. On the option. Now the pitch. Makes it past the marker. At midfield, he's got room. Way back and getting it in on the option.
Number 22 in the end zone.
And I love this offense, man. Staying aggressive. Just because you got the lead, you know people can score points in bunches. This offense keeps the foot on the accelerator, scores again on the final play. Now this offense has even more of a cushion going into halftime.
First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, rivalry games always bring out a ton of emotions, and they were on full display in that first half. And talk about a first half for the dude in that backfield. That coaching staff has been giving rave reviews on a weekly basis, and through 2 quarters today, he's been a complete game changer. He's breaking the will of this defense, and that's something that's just very tough to quantify. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
And the Tigers will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. Nothing went right in that first half, and the first order of business here. Try not to be embarrassed any further.
But the comeback is possible. Remember 2006, Michigan State down 35 to Northwestern at halftime? They somehow came back and won the game. But it all starts on one play, and that has to happen here on this first drive for the offense.
Yeah, the first possession, because your possessions, you're only going to get so many possessions, and you got to score on every single one of them. Offense, defense, special teams have to
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
And this offensive line's got to do a better job. Man, you got to protect your quarterback. Listen, this offense is not playing great, but they got to somehow find a way to start to get something together here in this second half.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. Complete to the left. On the net, continues to fight for yards. All the way out to the 43-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds, and this offense is on the move. Here comes Auburn to the line on 1st and 10. Used the play fake, now to throw. And he dropped it, just didn't look the thing all the way in.
Man, he was open, he had an opportunity, you just got to look that thing. A lot of times guys are catching it, and as they're catching it, you see their head start to turn to try to think about getting upfield, and they just lose that concentration for a second. Little missed opportunity.
Quarterback can't pull the trigger, and down he goes at the 41.
Well, this offense keeps giving up sacks, and they keep finding themselves in situations like this, 3rd and long right now. They don't have many points in this game, and this is a big reason why. It's hard to score if you don't keep the 3rd downs manageable. So moving forward, whether it's running the football on 1st and 2nd or throwing short passes earlier in the drives, they've got to change things up.
And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
This has been a frustrating day, and I'm not sure it's going to get any better. You're already down huge. Listen, this offense can't protect this quarterback. They don't do anything right now. This defense has had their number all game long.
Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. Oh, he's got some space. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 48. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Pressure affects quarterbacks, and this guy's one of the best in the nation. I don't care how talented you are, but if you're being hit, you're not going to throw completions.
Under fire. Quickly out to the tight end. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. Bunch formation for these receivers. Pulls it in. It's Duff. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Well, will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Lewis wants to pass. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. And now let's see if the offense can bail itself out after the 2nd down misfire. Under fire. Intercepted deep in his own end.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His 3rd interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
So here comes the Auburn offense. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of there, you-know-whats.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now. He's been playing so much. He's not used to this. This offense, they just got to stay on the field. They got to put a drive together and get some balance going, running and throwing the ball.
Yeah, a nice job by the defense understanding. who their go-to guy is. That's the guy they want to feature. That's the guy they want to feed with good reason. He's a great player, but a great job by the defense taking away that primary read, making sure they don't make a big play.
Time running out, and he goes down at the 34. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Caught behind the line. It's Smith. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Just a little too much there, a little too handsy, and they nabbed them for the defensive holding penalty. 3 yards, first down for the offense after that penalty. Leaves it with the running back. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
And the defense, they've got him at the 27.
Well, we've seen this offense struggle early in this game, protecting the quarterback. They went in at halftime, thought they'd made the right adjustments, but it's not looking like it right now. They're still having issues keeping this guy standing up straight. Up front, they're just getting beat across the board.
And it falls in complete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there. Auburn sends out the punting unit. Return's going to get it up around midfield. He'll be down at the 49-yard line. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drive.
Breaks into the open. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, LSU!
David, this guy's showing us everything he's got in his toolbox. Between the tackles, running outside, the elusiveness, the vision, the speed, the patience. And with that home run, now has over 200 yards rushing in this game.
And there's nothing more frustrating than a guy that just keeps coming and keeps coming. They keep feeding him, and he keeps breaking tackles. He keeps making big plays. This defense has had absolutely no answer for that stud.
And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. They've punted the last 3 times they've had it, and now really needing to put a score on the board on this possession. The run from the shotgun. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And
the quarterback caught up 2 and sacked at the 12. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Defense trying to take it back. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. So now with 1st and goal, let's see what LSU does here. Lewis to throw. Wideout trying to get it in. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys... ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. This one feels as if it's starting to get away from them a little bit, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, there's a lot of teams in college football at this point that would just quit. So, David, we're going to find out a lot about this team right here.
Yeah, just running out of opportunities. You give opportunities away like this, you're trailing. Every possession is going to be important from here on in.
Second down, he'll throw it. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Well, you can see the mindset of this offense changing quickly. We're in the late in the third quarter. They're down on the scoreboard. They've got to get aggressive. They've got to throw the ball if they want a chance to win this game. But the defense knows it. It's going to be really hard for this quarterback now. The windows are going to be small like it was that.
Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
And it's been a long day. I mean, there's not much to point out that this offense has done well. They're behind huge, and they got no shot if they can't somehow find a way to protect their quarterback.
Punt is in the air on fourth down. On the move, looking for a little sliver of hope. Can they catch him? Well, they finally stop him, but he found some running room on that return and really helps out his offense to start this drive. Motion from the wide receiver. Looking to throw, it's Sanders. That's caught. It's Sampson. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. LSU looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. Off the play fake on first down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Johnson. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Going to work on second down in the red zone, is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, LSU! Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And they add the extra point to finish the drive. If these guys wanted to make a statement, statement has been delivered.
It's your job to stop them. Oh, don't run the score up. Well, do something about it. The defense has to step up and make plays. Obviously, they're not willing to do that, so just keep running plays and keep scoring.
So here comes the Auburn offense. Didn't get anything done, 3 and out on their last series. They'll try to find a rhythm here. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. He'll pull it on the read. Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29.
Well, not much the defense could do there. The defensive end crashed down thinking the running back had it, but nice job of the ball handling there by the QB.
Just trying to avoid negative plays, continue to put stress on the defense. That's what he does there.
And that's a play this guy can run in his sleep, too. They rep this over and over and over. It's like clockwork for this guy.
Here's a heat. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
And if this offense wants to get back in the football game, it starts up front. Like, they've got to do a better job of protecting their quarterback. A third down and long situation coming up. They'll have another opportunity. They got to keep their quarterback upright.
And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. Field with this one. He takes it at the 45, and the returner goes down. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. The give on the inside. We'll give him a couple on that with 2nd and 8 coming up.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
That's caught. It's Clark. And he'll go down, but he has enough for the first down. guys, LSU has the lead here. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive fourth quarter comeback. So first down, we'll open up the final period. Looking downfield, it's Van Buren. Got it set up on the outside. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed. They're dealing with a second and long. Motion from the wideout. Wants to fire on second down. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
You know, it's a good decision by the QB because his intended target wasn't open, so throw it out of bounds, and you can live to play another day here on this drive.
On the option. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. They'll unleash the Wildcat to keep this drive alive. On the direct snap, it's Lindsey. He will not get there. They'll turn it over on downs, and that leaves the door open. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
Well, the defense is not taking their foot off the gas. They've got a huge lead. We're early in the fourth quarter, and still they're getting pressure on this quarterback, registering a sack.
Going to swing it on second down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. On third and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Auburn sends out the punting unit. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. And the returner will be knocked down. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Leaves it with the back.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there.
There he goes. He stopped at the 32, picks up 10 on the play and gets the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Now on the option. And the ball is free on the pitch. Defense picks it up. He's into the open down the middle. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Tigers. How about this defense taking one back to the house? Nice play there by the offense, but still a ton of ground to make up.
Yeah, this one's pretty much over, but listen, put that exclamation point on it. Finish the way you want to finish. Make sure your offense keeps that momentum going. It can build throughout the season.
Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. On the move from inside his 5. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They'll go to the ground. Couldn't find a lane, a pickup of 1 to the 31.
This is an area of the game. On offense, you've got to be able to run the football well. You've got the lead in the fourth quarter, and obviously you're in your own end here, but you want to bleed the clock. You want to stay on the field and keep getting first down, so you have to be able to run it.
Handoff from the shotgun. Found a little space, and he's got 4 to the 35. The Tigers come to the line on third and short, looking to keep the drive moving. The give to the tailback. Spins away from the defense. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
I think one of the biggest reasons why the scoreboard looks the way it does is this offense has been dominant on third down. They have found a way to stay on the field. They do it again here late, running the ball on third.
The handoff to Johnson. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Here's a quick throw out to the left. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. The Tigers really need to keep this drive alive on third down. To the air, it's Sanders. Throws to the back. Caught close to the marker, it's Johnson. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28. LSU moving the ball quickly down the field. With jet sweep pass. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after.
Turning it on. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Like QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
Now the connection takes it to the 11. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Wide receiver comes in motion. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Quickly complete. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the 4th quarter.
Looks like he's going to try to return it. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. After 3 consecutive punts, we'll see if they can dial up something that can get this offense moving forward. Ready to fire from the pistol. Looking for room, it's Henderson. They'll knock him down after a 6-yard gain to the 27.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on 2nd down.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Quickly to the tight end. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down to throw. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Just gets rid of it before the heat. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
You got to be impressed with the quarterback on that last play because he's already been sacked a ton of times in this game. He knows he does not have a lot of time to survey the field, get through his progression. So as soon as he feels a lane to take off and run, he's going to take it. A really nice job that time, showing off the athleticism and picking up the first down.
And this defense is more than happy with the offense running the football. They've done a great job today. I mean, they've really made this offense work so hard, earn everything they've gotten, and that's why this lead is ballooned like it has.
They just haven't been able to get much going in this game. The defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a microcosm of how this game has gone.
And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. And that, my friends, is getting the perfect bounce, the perfect punt, and the perfect roll. They'll have them locked down inside their own 5. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. You know, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done.
Oh, he's got some space. They finally corral him, and he turns that into a big gain and a first down. And the Tigers just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. The give to the left side. Got the first down and still on his feet. There he goes. The 10. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
And they just keep piling on the points. We've seen in big moments in this game, they have been able to step up and deliver, particularly on offense. Very impressive performance.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So here comes the Auburn offense. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, you're talking about.
Looking to fire. He's got an open man. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. Got it in the middle, it's Turner. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32. Timeout is called with just a single second left.
Timeout, LSU.
After this, it'll be a wrap.
Here we go.
Looking downfield on 1st down. Throws toward the end zone. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival. You're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the winning team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish. Now we also got to take in the next couple games, because this is always, there's a letdown that naturally happens after these big rivalry wins. We feel like our chest is poked out. We got to look on to the next game, focus in on this next one.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.